A lot of people just think labor unions they're godsends. Well, not for everybody. Let me give you one example. And that example is really talked about in a forthcoming book of mine. It's called Race and Economics. It'll be out towards the end of March or something like that, maybe April. And in one of the chapters, I talk about the minimum wage. And I talk about a super minimum wage called the Davis-Bacon Act of 1931. And here's what the Davis-Bacon Act does. And it turns out to be very costly. It requires that workers receive what's called the prevailing wage on all federally funded and federally assisted construction projects. And the Department of Labor illegally decides that the prevailing wage is the union wage in the area or higher. Now, if you tell a contractor you must pay any carpenter you hire $25 an hour, well, what is the effect of that? Well, it makes a carpenter who has skills that are only worth, say, $12 an hour, it makes him unemployable. That is, the Davis-Bacon Act or any kind of minimum wage discriminates against the employment of low-skilled people. And so, of course, unions give a lot of support for the Davis-Bacon Act. But if you go to the congressional record, you see some of the history of it. March 31st, 1931, page 6513. You can read what was argued by congressmen in support of the Davis-Bacon Act. One congressman said, it's Congressman Allgood, see that contractor over there? He brings cheap colored labor up from the South and puts them in cabins, and it is labor of that kind that's competing with white men around America. And you find similar statements in support of the Davis-Bacon Act by other congressmen. The thing is, the Davis-Bacon Act was written to exclude non-union laborers from construction projects. And today, the Davis-Bacon Act is still on the books, supported tooth and nail by labor unions in general. Now, what I find truly amazing is that black congressmen also support the Davis-Bacon Act. They do it because they are handmaidens of the labor unions. They know, and I've been writing about the Davis-Bacon Act for decades, they know the legislative history of the Davis-Bacon Act. They know the effects. But they do the bidding of labor unions against the welfare of the people that they say they're going to support. In return, unions always support food stamps and other kinds of handouts, CETA jobs, make work jobs. So black congressmen vote for laws that hurt their people, but in return, the unions vote for food stamps and welfare.